Hey, what is up, everyone? Happy Saturday. Okay, Operation Revive a Death Trap. We have got the tire on. Now, I'm gonna do a follow-up video on this. I have the two older wheel cover or motor covers. Okay, I have the two other motor covers for this, the old ones. So let me just give you a brief explanation of what we had to do, man, because this took basically all of today, because I had to really think about how to get this all set in and squared up properly. Okay, so and I'm waiting for the plastic covers and the new brake pads. I did a brake adjustment. There's still some pad on there, but I got these other parts coming in. Well, first thing before I get into all this, if you have a Mercane Widewheel Pro, um, here's what I would suggest, especially if it's a Widewheel Pro, because I got one of the last wheel covers for, I think it's either the left side or the right side, I'm not remember which one, but shout out to Fluid Freeride. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with those dudes, they've been in the game for quite some time. They actually had a couple of pieces laying in one of their shops, and it just so happened to be in California after I had been trying to triangulate these parts, because, and this is going into a greater point, the Widewheel Pro, basically going forward, if you are going to need something for this scooter, more than likely you're going to be on Alibaba or something like that, man, unless somebody's selling on eBay. But then again, even then, more than likely they're an Asian seller, and you'll be waiting a while for these parts. Okay, so that was one of the things that I did learn about, getting the stuff to get all this stuff updated. I made that video maybe like 2 months ago saying I was going to do that, and here we go. Right, it took a while. Well, not it that wasn't because of that, but it's just right. So anyway, I just wanted to show these are the new wheel covers and the new tire, properly mounted and seated right there. Okay, so yeah, I'll tell you like this, you will have to boil this tire. I had to do it this morning because I was putting it together yesterday, and I just could not get the thing to really seat. And then it was just like, wait, am I gonna have to give it the boil treatment? And sure enough, you got to give it the boil treatment. Okay, you're gonna have to give it the boil treatment. It's really, you can't rush this repair, because you do have to pull those wheel covers off. The stator, everything is all inside of there. There's also bearings. Okay, another point to make with these new wheel covers. Let me see. I think I have it over here somewhere. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna just go. I'll just tell you. So on the inside of these motor covers, especially when they're new, okay, if you're able to separate the wheel covers off of this, what you're gonna find that there's two, and I should have got a damn snapshot of the bearing sizes. So there's a bearing on each side. Okay, there's a bearing over here. There's a bearing over here, right? And when you get the new wheel covers, there's gonna be a good possibility that you're gonna have to take like a Dremel, and you're gonna have to score the inside of that circumference where the bearing sits, right? Because if the bearings are good, you just go ahead and reuse them. Okay, but they're not gonna seat properly into the new wheel cover, because there's been so much heat, there's been so much like heat cycles in it, where the metal kind of slightly expands and then it contracts and expands and contracts. And this is like brand new cast, right? So you may have to grind out it's just like a thin layer of metal out of this to get the bearings to seat. I had to do it on both of these. Okay, so right in this part, okay, wait, you see this part right there? This little part, that is a bearing that is sitting in there on the shaft right there. Look at the previous video that I did on this and you'll see what I'm talking about, okay? But when you mate these two together along with the tire, this is where the bearing sits, okay? So that the wheel is able to spin around, right? So it's right here and in there somewhere, the equivalent of this one right here, okay? and you may have to take a Dremel and zzz, right? I have a bunch of little just metal dust in there and shit, but that's what you may, more than likely, you're gonna have to do if you're able to save those bearings and they're good. Clean up some of that metal in there, because there's a little paint that coats that metal. I think that's what really holds the bearing from being able to seat in there early on. So you got to kind of clean that surface layer of metal and paint stuff off of there, so then that bearing slides right in. So there is a little bit of work to do. You got to boil the tire to make it soft. That way you could just, as you set it on there, the inside of the, okay, so this ring right here, right? So this ring, inside of this ring, there's little teeth, okay? And those teeth bite into a ridge on this tire. So the easiest way to get that to seat and set and get those teeth to bite is to make this rubber soft. Boil it for an hour, okay? Hour and 15. I think I maybe did like about 30, 40 minutes on each side, right? I put it in there, I submerged it all the way, bloop, flipped it over. Then the rubber was nice and soft. You were able to really just push it all the way down on there and then get the other one. And then you also have to make sure that you're lining up the motor covers. See these right here? This is what bolts into the motor stator right here, this ring on the inside. So that's the motor stator. Again, if you want to know what it looks like, just check the previous video. Okay, but this is where it bolts in. So you have to get this all squished in to the point where these bolts then can start to thread into the stator. And then as you just torque, you do like a cross pattern on each side, you'll hear the tire go, right? It'll just squish, 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 right? And those teeth start to bite into that ridge. And this is what keeps this tire on. I'm not sure what happened on the assembly that came on the one I got that had the tire hemorrhaging off. It just started sliding off, so those teeth just lost grip. I have no idea. Maybe it was just put in wrong. Not sure, but we got this one on and look at it. It is beautiful, right? It's beautiful. There you go. All right, so that was just the update to and I wish I could have, like I said, I'll figure out how to do this video shit at some point, but I just, try to just explain it as best as I can. But there you go. Okay, hard tire repair on the Mercane Widewheel Pro. You guys take it easy. Peace out.